All right. The Basanakud, in indigenous cause, Mikinaka them, Nivingma, Gipindige Medegani, Macadema, Inganga, English, Shoenimic. It means my name is Low Cloud, the Basanakud Low Cloud, and I'm from the Turtle clan. And the Black Wolf was my spirit guide. And I've been through the lodge, the Medewan Lodge 4 times. So that's like 4 degrees, 4th degree Medewan. And so my responsibility is to teach all the responsibilities we get in the lodge, 1st, 2nd, 3rd degrees. We get additional responsibility each time we move up. So this is the responsibility I have now to teach and do as much as we can with the Medewan Lodge and teachings and that. So the Rosa River is a community of about 600-700 people, 2 miles off the Highway 75 by La Tellier. You get off there on La Tellier, and 2 miles east. And it has like Medewan Lodge, Sundance Lodges, a few Sundance Lodges. Sweats, lots of sweats, but not right now, not so much right now though. They help us say the prayers that we send up, they help us and they help our community. We send up so many prayers, so many, what do you call it, requests for the pandemic to leave our community, and finally we have a COVID-free 19 community. So this is what I've heard all along. We had 200 years before white man set foot on Turtle Island. We knew that he was coming. We knew that he was coming. And so, see, we were all one at one time. All the tribes were one. And that's so very important to remember. We're separated by policy, and they sure did a good job of separating us. And that's but like I say, every 200 years before they were here, we already knew that they were coming. So, and then what happened there with our people was we used to be on the East Coast, A lot of our people, we see the migration story of our people, and we knew that they were coming, and so we had a big meeting over there. We had a huge meeting with all the tribes in the area, like Mohawk, the Cree, the Lakota, the Ojibwe, and all of those tribes. They thought, how are we gonna? They knew that they were gonna come and take some of the stuff away. How are we gonna safeguard our ceremonies and that? And so we each took on a responsibility to look after something. And the Dakota said they'll look after the ancient ceremonies, like the Sundance and Weepy, and even the dog eating. They look after that dog eating ceremony. That's Ojibwe, That's Ojibwe, dog eating. That's our ceremony. But they chose to look after that for us. And the Mohawk will look after the treaty, Wampum Belt treaties. They look after that for us, and that's what they're doing, right? And so, and the Cree and the Ojibwe look after the Medewan Lodge. And so, see, the Cree and Ojibwe are very close, eh? And so, sometimes we forget sometimes that how close we are. That's where we come from. That's where we come from. We come from a creation story. We come from. It's not just a story. It's a something that actually happened. Because when the Creator said, that means how will our children look? You're standing at the 4th level. So, and then the duality of that is the female part of him said, "I'll go find out how our children will look." So she left his side and went out into the darkness. And they couldn't. There was sometimes they say Creator sat down with his thoughts, and there's no place out there for his thoughts to bounce back to him. So he called them back, and that's all the stars you see at night. Those are Creator's thoughts coming back to him. And so, well, from one of the planets, that question still wasn't answered. How will our children look when she got back? And so from one of the planets came forward Wasiwavik, a crystal rock, and said, "Go in and I'll help you. I'll help you with your question of how your children will look." So he got the Creator to look inside him, and he saw a beautiful, beautiful blue light. And well, now they knew how their children would look. And so um, there was four colors of man, four colors of man. Where the Creator said, where should we put these teachings? And another spirit said, let's put them up in the mountains. And he said, no, they go up in the mountains, they'll find them. And then another spirit said, let's put them in the water, deep in the water, in the ocean. Said, no, they'll go down there. They'll go down there and find them. Well, let's put them inside them. They never look there. So that's true. We never look at our bodies and ourselves as holding those teachings. That we have those teachings inside us because of that blue light, and we never go there. We never go there. So now they knew how their children look at. There's four colors of man, and the first one that left when they said, I made a place for each of you to go. First ones that left and didn't hold up on wanting any instructions. He left. There was a white spirit. He left right away. And then the black and the yellow spirit left shortly after that. And the red spirit, he didn't want to leave the Creator side. So Creator told him, Majan, he walked to the first level from the Creator. Majan goes, I made a place for you to go. So he left, and there he stopped. He turned around and told the Creator, I don't want to go. And so Creator told him, Majan, no chance, my grandchild, go my grandson in this case. And so the spirit left again and got to a third level from the spirit, from the Creator. And he turned around and he told the Creator, I don't want to go. And so he called him Ningonis at that point. Ningonis, my nephew. We have made a beautiful place for you to go to. And so he left again, and the fourth level from the Creator, he stopped. He turned around again. He told Creator, I don't want to go. I mean, the white spirit left first. He left without no problem. He left without no instructions. He just came down here, and that's the way you see him today. He's ahead of everything. He's on top of everything. He gets first pick or something. And the black and the yellow man came later, and they have buildings too. You can tell that they left almost the same time as the white spirits, and that's so. They left, and we're the last ones to leave. Our spirit was the last ones to leave, and I went through that. We received 4 teachings, or 4 gifts, at that level. And we before we come here, in spirit, we receive our spirit name, not our Indian name, our spirit name. We're not Indian, or a spirit name. and we receive our clans. Our dad is already here, so he's got a clan, and now that you're conceived, that you get a clan. Eh? Yeah, so that's their second gift. Your third gift is your way of life, um, a beautiful way of life. But Creator didn't say, "I want you to follow it." He didn't say that. Instead, He gave you the fourth and final gift of free will to decide that for yourself. Free will is there all the way along. The Creator never told us to He wants this or wants that. And what would somebody that loves you and has everything, and what would they want from you? Nothing, eh? Nothing. They have everything. They are everything. What would they want from you? What would you have that they would want? So he gave you free will to decide for yourself whether or not you want to follow his way or follow your own way. Most of the time we follow our own way, and we lose track of what those teachings are. And we did that many times in our collectively, we did that many times in our history. One of those times was when when we lost our way. Um, we were sure so corrupt, and we were in that hereditary system from the clan system. We were in a hereditary system before that, and there's some remnants of it yet, and became a very ego-based system, and so the Creator looked down and saw how weak we were, and so He sent Migizeh, the bald eagle, to come down and have a look, see what was going on, and so he asked Migizeh to find someone pure enough, clean enough to come and receive those teachings again, because the Creator was going to give us those teachings again, and but there was nobody clean enough or pure enough or not corrupt to go and receive them. And then overheard people talking about the little baby that was born, and he went. The bald eagle changed himself into human, and so he wasn't recognized, and um, uh, as he walked amongst us, and so uh, and so he went looking for that little baby, and sure enough, the little baby was in a basket. It was a little boy, and the little boy, he was wondering, I wonder if this is who I'm looking for. He's clean, he's not corrupt, he's right from the pure from the Creator's side. And so, um, he put tobacco down there and some clothing of that little boy to let the parents know that no harm came to him. And he took that little boy up to the second level above the earth, and that's where he introduced that little boy to the grandfather's lodge. It was the lodge of the seven grandfathers, and they took him into that lodge. And the grandfather looked at that little boy and he said, "He's too young. He's too young to." So they instructed the bald eagle to take him out in the four corners of the universe and teach him everything he needs to know. And so that's what the bald eagle did. He took him all over the place, and four corners of the universe. He taught him everything with fasting and sweating and all that, and all those ceremonies and that. So, because everything in ceremony came through the Medewan Lodge, everything came through the Medewan Lodge. The sun dance came through the Medewan Lodge and that. So. You brought him back to that lodge of the seven grandfathers, and the baby was about a 7 or 8 year old boy, and so um, the little boy didn't want to go in the lodge, and he was standing on the east side of the door. He didn't want to go in. That's what Shagweni Moine. We all have Shagweni Moine. Everybody does. that shyness that you don't want to go there because you feel so much strength or so beautiful. You don't uh, claim yourself to be part of that. Eh? Well, a ceremony is always something that we've always done. Eh? We've always been in ceremony of some sort, pipe ceremony, Median ceremony, or anything like that. It all comes down to boil down to having ceremony and getting instructions from the spirits. And so um, the spirits were the guiding principle in determining how we came up with this treaty making and that. And I'm sure the spirits were there with people in that. And it was the clan mothers that were given that responsibility of making the decisions. Eh? They're the first law of the land. A guy in White White Pine Ridge Reservation, Dakota. He says his name was Meredith Quinn. He says the first law of the land was that the clan mothers, and he's Dakota, and our Dakota over here don't know that. Eh? And so he says they're the first law of the land. So Dakotas did have clans also. We all had clans. Everyone. You see, if you change the clan system, if you change it, make it contemporary, then you change the whole thing. You gotta go by the clan system the way the clan system was. You can't make up anything other than the way it was, and everything is there. Everything is there, and so and there were speakers there also. Eh? Everybody, all the clan leaders, Guaniganizyad, I call them, eh? The ones that lead, they're the ones that spoke on behalf of their clan. If they wavered from that, they'd be out of there. The clan wouldn't allow them in there anymore. And so they would speak for the clan and the desires of the clan. So when the clan mothers were happy with the content of the treaties, that's consultation. Consultation, and we were consulted, and the clan mothers instructed the clan leaders to sign off on that document, giving consent to the treaties. That's a legally binding basis of the treaty. It's not the Canadian law that makes it legal. It's consultation and consent. Now, under policy in 2007, the government legislated the consultation and accommodate it. Uh, and the chief shear just yelled, and yeah, right on. And yet they didn't know that they already had that in place. They already had that in place. Consultation and accommodation. They accommodated us, but that's a far cry from consultation and consent, where it was us that this is our land, and we got to start thinking like that. Eh? We can't be bobbing around their policies and all that. We can't be doing that. We got to think of, like I said, 200 years before white men came here. Well, who were we? We were ANISHINAABE. We were all one. We were all one at one time. He said a person can walk up to the highest mountain and look out and they wouldn't see the end of us. That's how many people that were here. And so they killed us off gradually. And so um, I don't know how many millions of people there are now, but they killed us off 50 million at one time. And that's true. That's true. That's not a legend. That's true. That's not a story. That's true. And we have to start thinking like that. We have to start looking at our way of life is in a different way, in the old way. Well, people say the old way, but it's the only way that we had. The Anishinaabe language, Ojibwe one, and the thing is, between the two nations, we both had figured we had them over the barrel kind of thing. But what in our language, we spoke of what we agreed to. We spoke to that in our language. Our language means something different than the English language. You know, if you were to write a letter in our own language to Ottawa, Ottawa would have to find someone that could interpret that letter in our language to them. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's our traditional way of doing things. And how we met in meetings. We were in the Medewan Lodge, and we had seating arrangements. I think you have in the paper seating arrangements of the clans, and so in our lodge. That's the way we did it. We didn't do it in any other way. We have to build a great big lodge to seat as many people as we can, and talk. Let the clan mothers talk. Let them guide us. Guide the leaders of each clan. See, each clan had a leader or two or three leaders. It didn't matter. It wasn't an election. It didn't matter. It was who we thought would do the best job they could within our clan. But if we waver from that, waver from what the clan says, we'd be out of there. And so there's those things. I don't know what you call them, but those things were in place for that. If somebody got up and spoke their own thoughts and not the desires of the clan, um, they would be out of there in no time. A spirit and intent of treaty is to coexist here. We couldn't get rid of them, so we have to coexist here, and and share the land, share the resources, and do the treaties in the way they're supposed to be done, by consultation and consent. Like if a settler was to come to us and say he wants this portion of land here, this square mile of land here, and he consulted with us, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll grow the crops, and I'll give you what the King of England said at one time, 3% of the annual income was supposed to come from the farmers and come into our people. And so, and 3% in that. So he would then we would agree, we would agree with him. Yeah, okay. Then that's given our consent. That's given our consent that makes it legal. Uh, Legal isn't putting, we never surrendered the land. That was their version of it. It was never, what do you call it, ceded, It was never ceded for any particular reason, because it was, how could they be the ones to tell us that they will give us 160 acres per family of 5? Where did they get the right to do that? They never did. We weren't consulted on that. The treaties are legally binding because of that consultation and consent, and that's what the spirit and intent of treaty is to coexist here. The pipe, usually people would bring their tobacco. They would sometimes we'd go through the whole process of doing a ceremony, and whereby everybody holds their tobacco in their left hand, and they go through a song that recognizes that, and sema unagan, the tobacco bowl. You abandan, I see it. I see that tobacco bowl, and uh, and he's dancing towards it. He's singing, and sema unagan dum binan. I pick it up. Sema unagan Pimiayan, so where I'm traveling with the tobacco bowl, and that's where everybody puts their tobacco in that bowl, and this is where the pipe ceremony came in. Right there, right after that, they would put that tobacco and mix it up, and put all your prayers and beautiful thoughts in there, and mix it up, and then another person would sing a song. Uh, Niwita Ma, I sit with my pipe. Nimushkinewa Fagan. I fill my pipe bowl. I fill my pipe bowl, and so and uh, ni nakuna my I'm gonna direct it in all the four directions, and so you stand up and you're dancing. And then wabanung ni nakuna butupagan. I pointed to the east direction, and I asked that spirit to come and smoke with us, come and have a. Then I go to Jawan, in Jawanong. That's where um, another spirit looks after that, and we offer him some pipe tobacco, and then in Gabio, the west, the same thing there, and the north, Kuwait, it's the same thing there. And then 4 levels above the earth, four levels above the earth, and Medea King, Mother Earth, and then no Sueviat, those ones, those spirits that are in between those levels, and in between those levels, and that's all. So that's how that pipe uh, it travels. They had elders. You see, an elder is an elder, and we try to say everybody that's an elder deserves to be in that group. But then the clan mothers put those people in place. The clan mothers are first law of the land. Elders would have been um, not steers, but people that were able to give advice, and there would be in the clan system. There would be a place for the elders and for the clan mothers and all that, and so yeah, so everything would have to go through the clan mothers though, and so it's in limbo right now because treaties haven't been honored, and like I say, a lot of people think that treaties are being honored by policy, and you can't do that. You can. Okay, so I'll send me a glitch, and I'm glad you might have learned a little bit about what treaty is all about, and what is legal, and know that what is not legal, and the Indian Affairs Act is not legal. Mm. And they say the Indian Act is not legal because it wasn't done by consultation and consent. It was done by consultation and accommodation. They accommodated us. So that was that. And so legal process is consultation and consent. I want to stress that. Okay, Miguel.